I'm not even sure if it was the Force Bolt, but I do remember killing him. I think what happened here is that after this photo was taken, I replaced the Overseer and moved him up and cast the Devouring on him, which was what destroyed him in the end. Next image, though, old Rowdy has been brought within undergrowth range with the Force Bolts and has not been knocked down, though, so I'm going to have to get a model in there to take him out. Going to the next image, what I've decided to do here is move Cassius around and put the Wormwood Tree of Fate, or whatever it is, out there as well, so I'm going to feat at this point. And this will allow me to do a lot of damage to Rowdy and then retaliate. Force him prevent him from retaliating. If you go to the next photo, after the previous photo was taken, I moved the tree out of the way and then just told my opponent that was the final position he'd be in, and then teleported the Woldwarden over next to Rowdy, and there's a big forest at this point. And the plan here is to smite Rowdy away, so d6 inches towards the Stormstrider. If he gets up and moves towards me the next turn, he won't be able to see me to charge, and he won't be within a range of the tree to attack it. What I did at this point is I made a mistake here. I thought that it would be better to not boost my hit rolls and just boost my damage rolls with Curse of Shadows there and hopefully kill or maim Rowdy, because I knew if I took out one of his arms, he'd be severely weakened anyway, or his legs. But what I didn't really understand is, even though I've been playing Hordes for quite a while, I've never been in a situation where I've destroyed a Jack so badly that he's lost a limb and he tried to attack me. That's just never really come up in my games, or if it did, I just wasn't paying enough attention, because what I didn't really understand is the rules say that if you've crippled one of the arms, the guy can still attack with it. So knowing that, what I should have done is just boosted my hit rolls and not bothered trying to cripple the arms, because even if I cripple the arms and don't, destroy him, he can move over and attack the tree and kill me and win the game instantly. What actually happened here is that I went for the boosted damage. Even though I only needed 4s to hit at this point, I believe, against Rowdy with Undergrowth up, I still rolled that double 1 and, missed him altogether, so I didn't get the combo smite. And although I crippled his hammer hand, it does mean that Rowdy can actually move over to the tree and smash it, and I didn't actually cripple his cortex, so it does give Josh the opportunity to win instantly. Next photo, though, Rowdy does indeed move over to the tree, but Josh has forgotten to allocate any focus to Rowdy, thus giving me the chance to not lose the game. He does heaps of damage to the tree. Cassius loses half his boxes, but this is really just a lesson for both of us, really. I kind of felt, on the one hand, it trivializes the game, that we both made such, debilitating mistakes, but on the other hand, it didn't really trivialize the game that much, because we both learnt something really important which we can take on to the next game. I learnt that, Warjacks still can murder you if they're hitting automatically at the tree and they've got crippled aspects, because you can still strike with both hands. And also I learned that, you need to do a little bit more than that. You need to sort of boost a hit with the Warden and not have the tree sitting so close. But Josh obviously has learned here that it's definitely worth going for the tree with extra focus to do it if you can. So you won't see this situation in the next game. Next image, he's moving a few of his guys around here. He's got some of the Sword Knights at the back. He's got, in my previous turn, I had, I think, the Gorax attacking the Lancer. Can't quite remember exactly what happened there, but I know this is the turn where I've got my feet up, so he's basically doing as much damage as he can to Megalith, doing about a third hit point storm, but not destroying him. So that's about all he can manage there, but just not really being very effective with his turn so far. Next photo, I've moved in with my, my Bloodtrackers, and essentially just throwing spears at the Sword Knights, killing about 3 of them. And because I'd moved my tree in range to feat the last turn, I managed to pick up 3 soul tokens. Soul. I've always been waiting to get something with souls, and that's going to mean the tree's going to be +3 armor, and Cassius will get +3 fury next turn. As you can see, Josh has run away with his Journeyman warcaster to the left-hand side of the photo. Next image, Gorax charges in and attacks the Lancer. Megalith has basically put up his undergrowth. He already had 1 fury from the previous round, which I couldn't leech, but he has attempted to geomancy something onto somebody. Can't quite remember what it was, though. Next image, Cassius moves back behind my lines here and teleports Wormwood away so that he's prowling in the forest. Hopefully should be safe for a little while. And basically the Woldwarden having a smash at Rowdy and eventually killing him, I believe. The Druids just hanging back up and putting back the elemental protection, doing whatever they can. So next photo, just a bit of a zoom out. This is my position at the end of the turn. Woldwarden's destroyed Rowdy. The Druids have moved up and creating a nice barrier of vortex clouds, just so that nobody can shoot Cassius at this point, or that Striker can sort of just do his mega assassination run through everything. Next image, he moves his Sword Knights around. Because Megalith has his undergrowth up, he was only able to run here. Josh made a few mistakes with his activations here and just didn't quite get what he wanted to achieve, so I managed to get off really light this turn. His only really big achievement this turn is killing the Gorax, but it took just about all of his activations to do so. Next photo shows you Striker running away from the Bloodtrackers just to stay safe and hanging behind the wall here. So that'll give him an opportunity to influence a different side of the battlefield from now on. Next image, this is Cassius, and I've taken the souls off the tree, so I've got 9 fury altogether, so I'm feeling pretty greedy. And this time, hoping to do a lot of damage. I've noticed he's clumped up his Sword Knights around the Lancer, so that's going to be the plan. I'm going to be moving up and hellmouthing them. Next image, the Bloodtrackers walk up, and they've still got prey on the Stormstrider, so even though it's got Arcane Shield, I've Geomancy'd Curse of Shadows onto it, and all of them throw their javelins. They kill it, they throw javelins at Rheinholdt as well, and take him out as well, and that's going to put me in a dominating lead. Next image shows you the situation following that, where the Bloodtrackers have fanned out. They are contesting this control zone, but I haven't bothered to move a model over to the flag just yet because Striker's himself is contesting it, so it's going to take me at least a couple of other turns to sort that out. Next image, I have used my Shifting Stones to teleport the tree over here behind Megalith, and then I've brought Cassius around to cast Hellmouth. Now this is one of a couple of big blunders this game. I thought that I'd be able to Hellmouth the guys and collect souls again for the tree, but it doesn't work because it's removed from play spell. So that was kind of stupid. Really what I should have done is kept the tree back, because in this case I have to use my last 2 fury just to move Cassius back and teleport the tree back as well. So that's a real blunder, and in fact makes me very vulnerable for the next turn. Next image, this is the follow-up. I've wiped out all of the Sword Knights. The Druids have put a line of vortex clouds up front, and the Lance is still there, but at this point really he has to assassinate my caster, otherwise he's just about dead. He's only got these models left, and I've barely lost any models at all. Yeah, Stalker, Gorax, that's about it for this stage. Next image, he does go for it though, and Josh, being a very cunning assassinating player, has come up with a plan. He's cast Mage Storm on Megalith, wiping out 2 of the Druids nearby and a Bloodtracker, which is quite good because he is now able to reduce the range of counter magic so that Striker is able to cast Velocity. So going to the next image, Striker does move in here with Velocity. The Lancer's tried to hit the Druid but hasn't managed, so at this point Striker is in base to base with the cloud. Technically he can see 3 inches through the cloud, so he can see Wormwood, and of course next photo Striker charges Wormwood and kills him. As that's game over. Obviously dominating position from the circle, which is thrown away. I felt like both of us learnt some valuable things this game, and with my first game as Cassius, I now know sort of what not to do with Cassius. Obviously this is why a lot of people think Cassius is a bad caster, because this always happens to his tree. But the thing is, I think if you're a smarter player, you can keep the tree safe. For example, I could have done my feet turn and smite, more safely smited the jack that he had, Rowdy, further away from the tree, and obviously in a situation where he was knocked down and it doesn't have a path founder, so he wouldn't have been able to get over to me. And at this point in the game too, I could have just not teleported the tree, towards his lines and had to teleport him back. I could have teleported the tree into the middle of the forest where Striker couldn't have got at it, and just not used Hellmouth and just hung my caster back, because realistically I had my whole army and I didn't need to commit my caster greedily to kill those Sword Knights. I could have killed them with something else like the Druids. So that was a really interesting game. Really enjoyed it. Hope you guys did as well. But I'll be definitely playing Cassius more often in the future, because I really quite liked him. It's not often that I make big list changes, but I will be making a change to my list. Essentially, I've just used Cassius with the same list I run with Mosar and E. Kruger, added Stone Keeper though. But I feel that Cassius doesn't need two Geomancy casters like the Woldwarden and the Megalith, because he doesn't have very good spells for Geomancy, just Curse of Shadows and Stranglehold. So I think I can make do with just one Geomancer, which means I think I can drop the Woldwarden and free up 9 points, and that would allow me to take either a Wold Guardian, which I think would be much better. In fact, I really look forward to that combination, or some Wolf Riders and an extra point maybe some Swamp Gobbers. The plan with the Swamp Gobbers is to give the Cloud to the Stalker, or just sacrifice them and get 2 souls straight away, which is one idea I really like. Or using the Wolf Riders to make more of Curse of Shadows. I think that Wolf Riders and Curse of Shadows is a hugely good synergy, so that's probably what I'm going to be trying out first. Don't have some small goblin models yet, but I'm going to get some, and that ought to make my my next innings with Cassius all the better. But see you guys then. I've got more battle reports coming up this week soon.